What is the oldest? No, not oldest. What is the first letter on a typewriter? The first letter on a typewriter.
Well, I mean, I don't know how old the QWERTY system is, but I really don't have a better answer, so I'm gonna go Q.
You're right. It is
Okay.
Q.
See, it was like a semi-trick question.
See, you're way better at that than I am, because I never would have guessed that or taken that into consideration. And then when you said that, I was like, oh, I think you might get this. And
Yeah. It's one of those things where, like, once you know it, you'll never forget it. But the typical, like, typeface alignment for English keyboards is called QWERTY, because those are the first 5 letters in a row.
QWERTY. Interesting. Yeah, you learn something new every day here on the podcast.
There you
go. I've been thinking about, and I know you've been a fan for a while, but I've been thinking about getting into those mechanical keyboards, because
they're fun.
They are, yeah. I was at Best Buy.
Makes it feel like a typewriter.
And yeah. And I did a little test on one, and I was always like, what's the hype? And then I typed on it, and it feels good. Like,
so do you know what switches you were typing on?
No idea, no.
So did it make like a clicky sound when you did it?
Yes.
Then it's
it
probably
like
blue switches. That's what I have, that's why you always hear me typing and like...
Right? But I don't have a problem with it. Like, you always make note of it, but I'm like, I think the typing sound is a nice touch.
Yeah, because there's red switches which are like linear, which is they're like much smoother. They don't have that like little click when you press it far enough to make the key. And then brown is like somewhere in the middle.
Because I have this Logitech one that I haven't used in a while, but this is it's a lot more like that's
probably really membrane.
Can't even hear that.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about keyboards, but it's a big rabbit hole to go down.
It really is. Like, you can get keyboards that are hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
I would not advise that.
No. I saw one on YouTube the other day that was like 2 separate things, and your hands like rest on it, and you type like this, and it's supposed to be the most efficient way to type, but it's like they look like this mouse, the keyboard. It's like wrapped around.
Yeah, I've seen those where and it's like supposed to be where you're like the verticality of your fingers in different parts of the keyboard.
That looks fucked up.
My brain would break. I can't even type without looking on a normal keyboard.
Yeah. I was a slow kid with the keyboard unit. Anyway, actually,
we've never done a type test, and I don't want to do, because type racing is like, that website where you can rate, I've never tried it because it's just like,
wait, maybe not on the podcast, but
maybe on the Patreon.
On the Patreon, we'll do a type racer.
Yeah, because I think we're both not good.
No. Wow. Wait. Oh, I feel like I would be decent at it, but maybe
the thing is, you're good at random things.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this is something where your expertise could somehow make you
come in handy.
Good.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, anyway.
So, any interesting things happened to you in the past week, Carson Runquist?
No.
And that's the podcast.
What about you, Jeff? What about you? Anything interesting?
Well, this is not interesting to most people. But I've kind of acquired a new investment philosophy.
Okay. All right.
I just recently have gotten big into the concept of dividend investing.
Please explain, because I'm not.
Okay, so the stock market.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's on the stock market.
Yep.
Some stocks pay dividends to their shareholders either like monthly or quarterly, and it's a percentage of your total amount.
Yeah.
And you'll get it back.
Uh-huh.
But you don't have to sell any of the stock.
Right.
And you can set it to automatically reinvest that to buy more of the stock. So it like snowballs, and eventually you have a bunch of stock.
Okay.
So I am not buying many individual stocks, but I'm buying ETFs, which are like bundles of stocks that some person at like some bank manages for you.
Yeah.
For a very small percent.
Yes.
And then you kind of just have a yield where you get a percentage of your dividends every month, and you just keep getting money.
Is it a good amount? Like, is it? I mean,
so
is this something worth that I should get into?
It very well could be, because different, like, a lot of companies have pretty low yields. So like, Pepsi or something will be like 2% a year you get back. But some of these ETFs do like special strategies. And again, I don't want to implicitly endorse this in case somehow it goes very badly.
Right.
But they like write covered calls, which I don't want to get into, but you can Google it if you want. And essentially every year in some of my ETFs I own, I get 15 to 20% of it back.
Okay. And that's pretty good.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Because that's in addition to the fact that the actual share price can also go up.
Interesting.
So that's just in straight capital. It's like passive income.
Yeah. Like you don't have to do anything basically.
Right. Like theoretically, if you put in like $500,000, you could just live off that indefinitely.
Yeah. Man. Interesting. See, I don't know enough about this to challenge anything you said. So I'm a neutral listener.
Yeah,
who's like,
I know enough about it to explain it, but not enough to suggest anyone else do this. I don't want to be your financial advisor.
So, yeah. To all our vulnerable Carscast listeners, just know that this is a thing that exists, but we are not telling you. And Jeff's into it. If you want to be like Jeff.
If you want to be like Jeff, put all your money into dividend ETFs.
Interesting. Okay.
I know. I've realized that you're kind of like the things that you say on this podcast are always these like nice general topics that everyone can relate to, and then I just come in hot with like really specific hockey or like.
No, the thing is though, yeah, because I feel like I have very specific niches, and this always comes to like topical to bring this up. This is something I always realize at Thanksgiving when I'm like, I can't talk to anybody here because like I really can only talk about like pop culture and movies. Like that's my area.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to sports or like the stock market, I'm like, I'll just listen,
Yeah.
and try
That's probably best.
Yeah. The thing about like stock stuff is the most I've ever gotten into it was with like crypto stuff. And I didn't even get into it. I just was like, okay, I'll put like a little bit of money into this. And I'm like too afraid to even check where that is at right now.
Yeah, I had a few $1,000s at one point into crypto, and then I sold all of it for like a $300 profit. And then it went up a bunch, but then now it went down way, so I would have lost money if I kept holding it. So
yep. See, I
made money
like
on crypto.
Yeah, there we go. There was a point in time where I made $100 in profit, and I was like, I can take that. I should get this, but then I was like, no, let's keep it. And then I lost a lot of money. So that's my dad's advice is to just keep it in there, and maybe in like 30 years something magical is going to happen. But that's
for stocks, not for crypto.
Yeah. Well, it's for stocks, but also crypto. He's like, just keep it in there, see what happens. Which is basically saying just like throw away $150.
Yeah, pretend it doesn't exist, and then if you remember when you're 50 years old that you have this investment,
you're like,
maybe it'll
now it's worth $1. So that's
funny
how that is going.
It's going well.
Yeah.
Very
well. What else happened this week? I fucked up my knee. We talked about this before we started recording, so that's going great. Yeah.
F's in the comments for Carson's knee.
F's in the I started making like climbing TikToks because I don't know how to make TikToks. Like I'm so bad at that platform that I'm like, you know what? At this point, sometimes I film myself climbing to like figure out a better route and whatever, but now I'm like, fuck it, we'll put it on TikTok. And
are you gonna do any TikTok dances?
Definitely not dancing. See, you're big into the dancing. I can't do the. Your dancing was a big hit on the last Carscast TikTok. Like, people really liked it.
Yeah,
But
my arms are very long, so even though the movement is imprecise,
yeah,
it just looks weird enough to where people are like, he probably is doing that on purpose.
Yep. That's you at every wedding. That's your go-to dance is the big arms and
Dude, the square. Look.
Yep, this works every time. Yeah.
I invented that.
Yeah. I'm doing the Jeff Square. Anyway, should we get into the movie?
Yeah, I mean, or do we have any? Is there any like movie news? We didn't do a movie news segment recently.
Oh yeah, movie news. Let me just Google it, see what happens. I'm
actually excited.
Screenrant.com. RDJ. What is the point of this? Oh, I guess. Well, this is kind of topical. I guess a lot of this. Oh, I gotta get rid of ad blocker. Get out of here. Continue to cite. Robert Downey Jr. gave Ironheart actress valuable encouragement during Black Panther 2. That's the first article on this website. Which,
wow,
I didn't even know who Ironheart was, and that's one of the characters in the movie we're talking about today.
I also did not know who that was. I'm going to be honest with you.
Remember them ever saying that name, but she's like the new Iron Man type character in the movie. The MIT student who builds
that's who I thought it was, but I was not sure. And I was like, did I see the right movie?
When they did it, I was like, okay, that's Iron Man, right? And I guess that is definitely like an Iron Man thing.
What if they remake the Iron Man films with them as the MIT?
That literally is
like shot for shot remake.
Yeah, that's literally what it feels like they're setting up, because it's like, well, he's done, so I guess this is our new Iron Man.
Yeah. Now, last question I have for you before we get to the film.
Yeah.
Before you die, how many? That sounded more morbid than I meant. That part wasn't important to the question.
Right.
I'm like, so just imagine you're gonna die.
Imagine Karsten's death.
Yeah, just like imagine, just that someone comes and kills you.
Yep.
No. Before you die, how many Spider-Man films do you think there will be?
That is actually such a fun question. I am gonna guess like 50. Another. Well, no. Let's get down to math here.
Live action or like
or cartoon animated.
Yeah, cartoon in theater.
Because now the Spider-Verse thing is there. Like, would you count Venom as a Spider-Man movie if he's like Spider-Man adjacent? Like, does it have to star Spider-Man? I guess. Yeah. Let's say
Spider-Man has to be in it.
In it. Oh fuck! Because my god, that.
But Avengers doesn't count. So like,
okay, I got you.
Or does it? This is.
See, that's hard. What I'm saying is like the Avengers movie, Spider-Man is in there.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so like statistically, we get like I would say we get a Spider-Man movie currently like every other year.
Yeah.
Maybe. Because it's either Avengers or it's his own movie, and it's like there was one in 2019, and then we got another one in 2021. So, assuming like every 3 years. And let's say I live until 80.
Like 29? Oh, no, 80. Yeah, 80.
Yeah, let's say I got a few years left. We maybe got 3 Spider-Man movies until I die. Younger than you is when I die. Yeah.
This would have nothing to do with your death.
This would age horribly if I did die
at 29.
Very soon, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Got to knock on wood or something.
Yeah. No, okay, this got way darker than I intended.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll live a long time. Let's say that. I'm going for it. Let's say I'm aiming for that. Let's say maybe like 30 more Spider-Man movies in my lifetime.
That's like a decent
30
amount.
Seems realistic, and also a lot. Like that's a shit ton.
That's
of
a
movies.
lot of movies. Like imagine watching that as a marathon.
Yeah.
That's thing is, your YouTube channel still going strong when you're 80 and you do like I just watched every Spider-Man movie back to back.
Nearly kills me. Yeah, I spend the last days of my life watching Spider-Man. Yeah, what if I'm like halfway through one of those videos and I die? And my last movie was like a shitty Lindsay Lohan movie. I thought about that idea
Herbie
today.
Reloaded.
Yeah, I watch every Lindsay Lohan movie because that's realistic, and that's She's got a crazy filmography.
Yeah, Parent Trap.
Yeah. Anyway,
the movie today
yeah,
is
Wakanda Forever, the new Black Panther movie, which I didn't even we decided on this. I know we were going to watch Tar, but Jeff was not. I was under the impression it had a wide release, but that's from someone in a major city.
Yeah.
I don't think Florida's showing up for Tar.
It's not. It was about an hour and a half drive each way.
Damn, man.
And I'm like,
damn.
Oh, don't think I can swing that.
That bums me out.
Yeah, I definitely
we'll
want
to
see
Tar
it,
eventually.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I thought about the commitment, and I'm like, I feel like it would be a lot easier if I just asked Karsten to do a different movie.
Yep. Because we know Wakanda Forever will be playing in any theater
Everywhere
you go to. Yeah. Yeah, this is the new. Well, so what I was going to ask you, because I never even really ran this by you. Did you see the first Black Panther?
Yes,
okay.
I did.
Just
I
making
saw
sure.
it on an airplane.
Okay, which is a solid place to see it.
Yeah, it was on a transatlantic flight.
Gotcha. It's not and I've said this before. It's not the kind of movie it's a pretty good airplane movie because it isn't shot in a way where you feel guilty about what. It's not a very pretty movie in my opinion. This one is very pretty. I like the way this one looks.
Yeah, dude, this one. Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
I went to the earliest showing of the theater that's closest to me.
Yes.
It was a 12:30 p.m. showing.
Yes.
But it was in 3D. So I watched this in 3D.
I also saw it in 3D. That's so funny. We both saw it in 3D.
Yeah. It wasn't on purpose. It was just the first showing.
Yeah, you're just well, I guess I'm seeing this in 3D.
Yeah. Dude, it is insane to watch this in 3D because you have the glasses on for 3 hours.
Dude, yes. I have not seen a movie in 3D in probably 10 years.
Yeah,
it's been a
since
very
Avatar.
long time. Yeah, which also, did you see the Avatar trailer in 3D?
I did. It was actually right when I put the glass on for the first time. It was in the middle of the trailer, and I'm like,
yep,
wow.
And you were okay.
I feel taken back to a different time.
Yep. Did you ever used to, with the 3D glasses, not throw them out, but pop out the lenses and then just wear them?
Nah.
Halfway through saying that, I was like, this is going to be one of those things where I say it, and Jeff has never did this before.
No, I've never heard of that. I don't see the benefit.
All right. This was back when, when hipsters was a whole thing.
Yeah,
and
I remember the no lenses glasses.
Yeah.
I remember that was a thing for a few months.
And you can do it with the 3D glasses.
Yeah.
What if I was that's how I got into movies, was I just wanted the glasses. So I would go to movies just to get the glasses.
Yeah, you only would go to 3D movies.
So yeah. Let me, before we get any further.
Synopsis?
Yeah, synopsis.
We're so simpatico.
That is directed by Ryan Coogler. And synopsis reads: Queen Ramonda, Shuri, M'Baku, Okoye, and Dora Milaje fight to protect their nation from intervening world powers in the wake of King T'Challa's death. As the Wakandans strive to embrace their next chapter, the heroes must band together with Nakia and Everett Ross to forge a new path for their beloved kingdom. There we go.
That was pretty confusing.
Yeah.
And this movie is kind of confusing. It wraps itself up, but
yes.
The first, I don't know how you felt, but for me, the first act felt really long, and I was confused as to where it was going and who everyone was.
That is most Marvel movies, yes. Because at this point, these movies are so loaded with information, most of which only serves to set up the next movie and for to be lore for a miniseries that they're going to do. It's so, and this is one of the most bloated Marvel movies because there is so much shit they have to address at the beginning because clearly, and I mean, pretty much everyone knows this, it was a different movie originally, and then tragically Chadwick Boseman passed in 2020, and this was months before, maybe not even months, weeks before they were gonna go into production with this, and they had to rewrite it. And it seemed like it was a very tumultuous road to get to where we are now. Is tumultuous the right word?
Yeah, no, that's actually that's a great word.
All right. Okay, I was just
Tremendous
making sure.
job with your syntax, your grammar. You're
Thank
just
you.
on your A game today, Karsten.
Hey, came prepared for this one. Yeah, it was a very tumultuous road to get to where we are now with this movie. And honestly, I know that's why I'm excited to talk about it. I know it's kind of like mixed across the board, but I thought they landed on their feet with this one. Like, I thought it kind of pulled it off. It is very bloated, but all things considered, it was a pretty decent movie.
That's exactly how I felt. Like, they threw out a lot of elements where I'm like, I would say about 40 minutes in, I'm like, oh, is this gonna suck?
For 3 hours?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, do I have to sit through 2 more hours of this?
Yeah.
But it really ended up kind of getting all these different things and mushing them into something that did end up making sense, and there was a payoff.
Yes.
That's the thing. The film did pay off.
Right. I guess, I don't know when the last time you saw a Marvel movie was, because I feel like we do not talk about Marvel that often on this podcast.
I think it was Black Panther on that plane.
Okay. You only see Black Panther. You're like...
That's the only Marvel movie I'll watch.
Yeah,
Black Panther and then the first Captain America.
Which I have not seen. That's my
favorite one.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I feel like, and I'm not an expert in this new phase of Marvel movies. Like, I really only have seen Thor: Love and Thunder, which was just terrible. It was just such a bad movie. And it just seems like, based on what I've read about, and the new Spider-Man, where they all come together.
Yeah.
Like, they just seem so lazy
spoiler
and
alert.
phoned in. Yeah, well, you know.
I haven't seen it.
point,
Everyone knows the spoiler.
I was going to say, I felt really bad at first. I'm like,
yeah, no, every single person in the world knows the spoiler.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like they're so phoned in these days, these Marvel movies, because they're just trying to like crank out as many of them as possible. And I think because of how the pressure for this film was like higher than most Marvel movies in the last few years, just not even because of what happened to the lead, but like the first Black Panther was obviously like a cultural moment. Like, it was a massive deal, and just, of course, they were going to like put a little bit of thought into this one, and I think a better movie came out of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. This one, at the very least, could not suck. It would have been so sad if it totally sucked.
Oh my God. And there's some people that really don't like it, but I'm like, I thought it was entertaining, which was important. It's what you want out of a superhero movie, if nothing else. Like,
do you think the 3D enhanced it?
No.
Yeah, I forgot I was watching it in 3D like a bunch of times.
Like, there was scenes like near the back half, and I don't know if you ever do this. When you get bored, you just take off the 3D glasses to see what it looks like, and you're like, "Oh wow, that's crazy." Was your theater pretty packed, Jeff?
Well, so I saw it on a Monday at 12:30 p.m. So no.
Did you see it with your parents, or was it just you?
My mom?
Your mom, okay.
Yeah, I was like, you totally don't have to go with me to this. But yeah,
she did.
She did.
What'd she think?
She said she thought it was better than the first one.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is also a fair. I think it looks way better than the first one.
Yeah, I think visually, dude, there's so many like really cool wide shots in this film.
Yeah. Like, doesn't feel like a lot of the stuff when they're at Cambridge and it's like the car chase and all that stuff I thought looked great. How did you feel about the I don't know what to call them, the fish people in this movie essentially being Avatar?
Yeah, that I definitely was really wanted to talk to you about. And now that the sun has gone down where I am because of daylight savings, my white balance no longer is correct.
Going full blue.
So I am going full blue. I'm turning in here. Wait, let me accentuate it. I'm gonna turn into one of the fish people.
Yep. Oh my God.
Look, I'm one of the fish people.
Jeff's in the movie. Yeah. Jeff's underwater. How's he doing it? That's such a it's such a funny like random detail. Is like Like, yeah, sure, they had to adapt to living underwater, but also they randomly turned blue too.
And also, why does he live forever?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't understand that. Also, he was supposed to be alive for like over 500 years.
Yeah.
And his little ankle wings never somehow broke in that time. Like, they're so dainty. Dainty little ankle wings. I'm like, I can't imagine. Like, I would just walk around and like accidentally hit my ankle on like furniture.
Dude, yeah.
And then, my wing is permanently broken, but somehow he's fine.
I was really hoping that would be like a thing they use against him in like a fight, is like break off his wings, but they never do it. Those things are indestructible.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was hard to be like intimidated by the film's main villain when he like hovers over.
Yeah,
it's so wings on his
aesthetically funny.
I liked him as a character though, but just the whole the backstory is undeniably kind of silly.
Insane. It's an insane backstory.
The more it keeps going, you're like, okay, and then you're like, what? What?
Dude, the scene of him being born.
Yeah.
It's just people standing underwater.
Yep.
Like,
it's crazy.
His mom was giving birth standing up.
I know.
Underwater.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was like, for a split second while they were on screen, I was like, oh my God, was there like a big deal made and they're going to try and like merge the Avatar and Marvel universe?
I was thinking that too, because they also had the Avatar preview, so it was fresh in everyone's mind. And then you see them and you're like, this is Avatar.
And the whole thing in that movie is that it's like the way of the water, the new Avatar. Yeah. So I'm like, they're underwater. Like, what is the difference?
We're watching it in 3D.
Yeah. It was a crazy choice. I was like, make him green. Like, like, yeah. Anyway, but I mean, like, I didn't mind. Besides that, which was like kind of distracting. I was like, I thought they were cool. Like all the face masks.
I didn't understand the face mask thing.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just so they can breathe.
But then why aren't they living on land? Is that one guy the only one who can breathe underwater?
Right. I guess you're right. It could be like, why is that not a sustainable thing? So then they can. Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of questions.
Or was the face mask so they could breathe on land?
Yeah, that's so they can breathe on. Wait, were they wearing them underwater too, or was it? Because here was my. This is where my mind was at. I was like, oh, so the face mask is like a filter, and air is breathed in through the filter and then turned into water, which they can. No. Wait. I just remembered. Which does not answer the question, but in the backstory, I think he said you have the power to breathe underwater and out of water. Which does not answer why they wear the face masks.
Interesting.
And also does not answer why they don't live above water.
Now, here's my other issue. This was a combination of not only Avatar for me.
Yes.
But Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Never seen it.
The Jar Jar Binks. Oh, you have not seen it?
No, but please. I know about Jar Jar Binks. I know he's a piece of shit.
No, I like Jar Jar. That's my favorite Star Wars character. Jar Jar's hilarious.
Jeff, that's the most controversial thing you've said on the podcast.
No, Jar Jar is the best character in the Star Wars universe. I will die on this hill, Karsten.
Why?
Because he's funny. He's comic relief.
You can't argue with that.
His big floppy ears. He looks like a mixture of like a slug and a rabbit.
True. Maybe we just weren't ready for Jar Jar.
I think so. Now here's my point. My broader point about this is that Jar Jar gives the Jedis these like breathing devices that look like those masks, and he takes them to his underwater city. It's literally just like this film.
Wow.
They stole it from the Phantom Menace. They stole Jar Jar's bit.
Wow. Wait, there's a lot, because I'm like, Disney also owns Star Wars now. So like maybe, can you imagine if the end credit scene in Wakanda Forever was fucking Jar Jar Binks?
Dude, oh my God. Imagine all of the like really hardcore fans, how upset they would be if they merged the Star Wars and Marvel universes.
And the way they do it is with Jar Jar Binks, the most unlikable. They're like, oh no, you ruined the Marvel universe too.
You know, I want to see it. I want to
Yeah,
see Jar Jar in a
no.
Marvel movie.
I would see it. Like, it would spice things up so fast.
And you've heard Jar Jar talk as well.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like he's like, me so scary. Me so afraid of Iron Man.
Dude, that would be crazy. So yeah, that's what we wanted out of this movie, was more Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting away from this.
Which, for me, I say that about any film.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I
Needed
can't think
more
of a
Jar
film
Jar.
that wouldn't be improved by Jar Jar Binks. Dude, imagine Moonlight if, like, in the diner, Jar Jar Binks was at the like the next table over drinking a coffee.
Yeah, but they never address. He's just out of focus, and you're like, wait, is that Jar Jar Binks?
And you just hear, like, in the like ambiance of the diner, it's like, Misa wants sugar.
It's just like characters like turn around for like a second, and that's the only acknowledgement. Like, what was that? Yeah.
Fantastic Mr. Fox. Jar Jar Binks is in it.
Stop motion, but he's not stop motion. He's like like a normal animated. Yeah. Anyway, that's
That was something.
What-
that wasn't
what
even the
movie are
film.
we
We didn't talk
talking
about the
again?
film.
Yeah. It's there's we won't get into spoilers.
Right.
I will say, because my theater was like relatively packed, there's like a moment that comes when there's like, first of all, well, that's one thing that I wish this movie wasn't, is that a lot of this movie is building up to a moment that happens like 45 minutes before it's over, where a character turns into Black Panther, basically, is what, like, it's the new Black Panther. And I'm not going to spoil who it is, but, like, obviously this happens. And I'm just like, they should have done that earlier in the movie, in my opinion. I feel like, because that's when, like, things really kick into gear. And I know it's, like, a whole journey to get to that point, but I was like, damn, I really wish I saw a whole movie where this person was Black Panther.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I thought this person, well, again, I'm not naming if you haven't seen it, who really cares? But, like, I thought they did a good job. I'm not upset at that portrayal of Black Panther. I know some people are like, I don't think it's as good as Chadwick Boseman, but I think it, still looked cool.
Yeah.
And that's my take on that.
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman was just so good.
He was so good. I was thinking this, I'm like, they made do and made a pretty great movie with the circumstances, but I was like, with this kind of cinematography and production and like care, and if like we were lucky enough to still have Chadwick in the movie, I'm like, oh god,
I know.
He was just such a good actor. Like he had such a great presence on screen.
He was like the perfect like noble leader kind of thing where you're like, I am fully behind you. I will run through this movie theater screen for you, Chadwick.
Absolutely. I know all they needed was like his face on a wall in this movie, and I was like, that's our guy. That's yeah. But again, like all things considered, the film kind of did a really great job and was a really nice like tribute to him, while at the same time working really well as like an action adventure movie on its own. Just wish it wasn't so bloated.
Yeah, it's so long.
Yeah.
Is the runtime like 2 hours 48 or something?
It's 2 hours 48, or 41.
Yeah, which is it's over 240, which is absurd.
Yeah. I also don't know how you feel, and I mentioned this in my video. Like the thing I dislike most about Marvel movies is like the humor of them, and like this like self-aware, like, look, we're superheroes, and like, I don't know, it always bugs me, and this has a few moments like that like fully take you out, because like the beginning is very long, but I think it like took itself seriously, and that really worked for me. I was like, finally, like a Marvel movie that's like taking it sort of seriously enough to where I can even pretend to care. Mm-hmm. And I did care, and I was like, this is working. And then as soon as it slowed down, like it just there were scenes that I was just like, this could have been cut.
See, that's the thing I personally think Marvel does a little better than DC is they at least try to play it straight enough to where you can be invested emotionally.
Right.
DC movies on the whole, I find to be so overtly stupid.
Yes.
That you can't care at all about the characters.
Yep.
Like, yeah, the action scenes are usually still fun and like it's all like have a good time, but you don't get any of the emotion of DC films.
That's you didn't see Black Adam.
No, I didn't, but I imagine
you still could. It's definitely still doing its thing, but that is like exactly how I felt about that movie, where I'm like, this is so dumb that there is not a chance in hell I care about Black Adam. I do not care. And people are like, the people that have defended that movie on my video about it, and there's a lot of people where like you like don't know how to have fun. Like, the fun parts of Black Adam are fun, but there's like a lot of scenes that try to take itself seriously, and I'm just like, I can't. Whereas like a movie like this, it like, you can tell the film cares, and that rubs off on the viewer, and yeah, it works. And anyway, that's what I gotta say about that. But yeah, anything else?
Do you have anything else?
As far as like,
what do you think about the score?
I thought the score was good. I think I liked the score in the first one more, because in the first, I guess because it was like the first time hearing a score like that, where they have the drums and it's like do-do-do, and like all those, the sounds are so like nice on the ears. And yeah, I think like, I thought it was good in this one though. You know, I mean, it worked.
Sounds are nice on the ears.
Sounds that are nice on the ears. There's nothing.
They're gonna put that as like the blurb on the
Yeah.
score album. Carson Runquist. The sounds are nice on the ears.
Yeah, one of those trailers for TV. Sounds are nice for your ears.
Dude, you talking is nice for the ears as well, Karsten.
Thank you. Oh God, I was gonna do a cameo in this one guy's animation video. I have to do that after this.
Oh, I just remembered what I keep forgetting to do.
Yeah.
There is. I guess I could wait till we're done talking about the film. But dude, we're done talking about the film, right?
We're pretty much done. I mean, 3.5 out of 5 is my score.
I think I was at 3 or 3.5. I didn't really decide, but one of those.
It's a fine, good movie. Like,
yeah, I probably will never watch it again because it's so goddamn long.
Absolutely not. No. But
yeah. Okay.
What did you forget to do,
Karsten?
A
few weeks ago, more than that, but months ago, I was contacted by a podcast listener to record a song for their album.
Right, you posted about this.
I did. I kept forgetting. I wanted to, and I won't make you listen to it, but I'm going to interject at the end of this song, or end of the episode. I was going to play the song.
Yes,
but,
please do.
Yeah, so I'll put that at the end of the episode.
What is the name of the song, just out of curiosity?
Okay, so let me search it up here.
I do want to maybe not on the podcast, but I really want to listen.
All right, so the song is called the Triceratops weighed up to 26,000 pounds.
I don't know how to begin searching. I'm gonna go to your Instagram page and just assume it's in there somewhere. It's on your IMDb page.
Don't think so.
What is this? Oh no, this is some short film. Oh, I see it. Was this based on your album? That was like...
No, they have made a variety of dinosaur-themed songs before this. And they listened to I'm Just a Mantis, and because of that, they contacted me.
Wow.
And said, hey, you want to provide some vocals for this? And I did.
Oh, my God.
So all the music is them. I just wrote some of the lyrics that I sing, because they also sing for part of it.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I listened to the first, 2 seconds, but I'm like, I gotta wait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I come in a bit, I come in for after the first 30 seconds, and I'm pretty much for the rest of it.
Okay. There, I'm gonna wait. This is not good podcast audio, but I'm like,
it's terrible podcast audio. I really
curious. Yeah. This is just to keep people listening to the podcast. Wait till the end. You're gonna get a special musical performance.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into questions then.
Let's do it.
Sure, we have some questions. This first one comes from Chips Ahoy 523, and it's an interesting question. It is, what is your favorite and least favorite thing about the areas you currently live in, Chicago/Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Kick it off.
Okay, so favorite and least favorite thing.
Yeah.
So my favorite thing is where I am, like kind of right on the Gulf Coast. It's very like calm here, where it's a lot of people like vacationing, but it's also like not that big of a town.
Yeah.
So it's just like everyone's pretty chill.
Yep.
Yeah. The worst part is that it's really, really hot all the time.
Yeah. I would feel like the worst part about living where you live is like the storms, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like you're very.
Yeah, we did just get hit by like the bands of a hurricane like in the last week.
Yeah.
And then that's fair.
But
that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, I would say the issue with where I live is like the opposite of the issue about where you live, where I feel like instead of being chill, it sometimes is a little noisy, and parts of Chicago can be unsafe at certain times and parts of the day. But it's like it's a much safer city than people think it is online. Like there's a horrible like idea that Chicago is like the most dangerous city in the world, and there is a high crime rate, yes, but most of the city.
Yeah.
And a lot of the South Side specifically is actually very nice. Like the South Side can be dangerous for sure. But it's not, I don't know, in my opinion, gets a bad rep.
And there are like a lot of areas that have very different vibes. So you can kind of find quieter areas. You can find
right
hopping areas. You can find areas where Karsten Rundquist lives.
Which we will not give out on the podcast.
Which we will not give out.
Chicago is actually kind of it's one of the cities where there's like a place for everybody in the city. Like if you're more of like a laid back person, there's like very chill, naturey areas. Yeah. But also if you want to be like
party
downtown,
all the time, just go like River North.
Yeah. Oh yeah, River North. That's where
go to all the bars. A lot of expensive bars, River North.
Yeah.
But then you go if you're kind of like, more of a if you're like a rich hipster, you go to Wicker Park. If you're like a less rich hipster, you go to Logan.
Yep, exactly. That's exact. I want to live in Wicker so bad, and then I looked at the prices, and it is not doable.
Dude, it got so gentrified. When I moved to Chicago, it was essentially Logan. Yeah, and then in the whatever 5 years after, it got so expensive.
Yeah.
Now Logan is kind of starting that trend.
Yeah.
And then it's like Humboldt has to be like the new Logan.
Right. That is a very accurate assessment. Yeah. Wow. You know it. Yeah. Humboldt is low key the new Logan.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm somewhere else entirely that is out of the picture.
Yeah. Because I lived most recently in Chicago. I lived the very southern part where like Logan and Humboldt kind of meet.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, I see what's happening here.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, and Humboldt makes sense because the park is amazing.
It's one of the best parks in the city.
Understand why it didn't get super nice faster, because that park is like the best park in Chicago.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah, it is weird because it is close to other dicier areas of the city.
Yeah.
And it's like depending on what side of the park you're on, like north side of the park, I would say you're pretty good.
Yeah.
South side of the park, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Like it's a very interesting area. But a beautiful park. Yeah. Anyway. Logan Square,
really did answer this question.
We did answer this question. I mean, it was like 90% Chicago, but you've lived in Chicago, so you can also contribute, I would say, to that. I've never been to Tampa Bay, so can't tell you
Tampa Bay area.
Yeah. This next one comes from Educational Bowl 186. This is kind of a tough one, but it's, if you were a designer who worked at Universal Studios, what movies would you bring to life as attractions or rides? Well,
Universal.
Universal.
Wait, they don't own Marvel anymore, so
yeah. I guess is this
what
limit
properties
us?
does Universal own still?
I was gonna say because this is like now I have to think about what the Universal Pictures. Yeah. Okay.
Universal Pictures movies. Let's see what we got.
I think we need
so
to get
they
a
have Minions.
Yeah, Minions. Which I've actually done
Jurassic
the Minions.
Park.
I did the Minions ride at Universal when I was there in LA, and it was pretty fun.
Jaws, of course.
Yeah, I got Jaws.
The Secret Life of Pets.
Right.
Oh, dude, the Super Mario Brothers movie. That's Universal. That's gonna be interesting.
I think they did Old, the M. Night Shyamalan movie about the beach that makes you old, and I say that should be a ride.
Like they use fun mirrors to like make you look older.
You like wear glasses and like it has like a filter on all your friends, and people start like dying in front of you. And it's like last person on the beach wins. I don't know.
All right, here's one. The Fablemans. Yeah, you go on the ride and you get to interact with animatrons in your Steven Spielberg.
Mm-hmm. Such a niche ride, but man, get a kick out of it. They did let's see here. The Grinch. There had
the Flintstones, the live action one.
Yeah. The Mummy had a ride, right? The that's like it's known for is the Mummy ride, yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it based on a ride? Never mind. I forget. I
do not know.
The King of Staten Island roller coaster would be so fun. It's like going through Staten Island in a
In the roller coaster should be shaped like the Google search trends for Pete Davidson. Like,
I just saw he's dating Emily Ratajkowski. Is that how you?
Something like that.
Anyone that cares, she is dating Pete Davidson now. Yeah, they've done a lot of movies. They did Cats. I think there should be a Cats ride. Oh wait, Ma.
That'd be a good one.
It's like a roller coaster through a giant like basement, and like Ma keeps jumping out at you and like serving you drinks. You're like,
all right, here you go. The Pirates Who Don't Do Anything, a VeggieTales movie.
I've seen that movie. Yeah,
you have?
Yeah. I saw that as a kid. The Pirates that. How did you find that on this?
I'm on the Wikipedia for the list of Universal Pictures films from 2000 to 2010.
The Pirates That Don't Do. Wait, VeggieTales. Maybe that's a video. I watch all the VeggieTales movies.
That could be a good one.
I guess they're all very. Yep. Specifically that one. That's the one I've seen. Is The Pirates That Don't Do Anything. I should log this. Interesting.
I should log this.
Anyway, that actually we did a pretty good job answering that. We just kind of listed off Universal movies, but got some good rides in there. This next one and this last one comes from Cyhots9292, and we've answered this multiple times, but we will answer it again. How did you meet? The thing is, it's like I very vividly remember how we started the podcast, and we've told that story multiple times. But how we met is always like, I'm like, when did we meet? Like,
I believe that we met, like right after you moved into that,
the new one,
like,
the Jackson's apartment. Yeah,
and I think that obviously I already knew Jaxie, and I think I was just over because I lived like 2 blocks away.
Yep,
and I think that. You just, were there.
Did we?
There.
Was this when we went to Tony's? We got Mexican food at. I remember.
It might have been that was at least one of the first times.
Yeah,
but it was definitely some time where I was like sitting in your living room and you were just like in your room and came out.
Yep,
or you just got home. One of the two things.
That is when we started hanging out. Was when I moved to that apartment because you had known Jaxie for a while, and then it was.
Yep.
I moved there, and I remember. Yeah, we all. This is the first time I remember like interacting with you. Was we went to that Mexican restaurant, and it was like me, you, Jaxie, maybe Nick, and I remember being very shy. I was like, I don't know who this tall man is.
And then we became good pals. Now.
Yeah, still talking.
Still talking after all these years.
Yeah. Damn, that seems so long ago. Now that I think about it,
it's like a different world.
God,
it's crazy.
Anyway, that is how we probably met. That's the first time I remember formally, because I feel like there had been parties where I saw you, and like I'd known you around campus, but I never really met you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just remember because once I met you, I was just hanging out, and then we would just talk, and I was like, wow, this guy's funny.
Did you know I was a YouTuber when you met me, or was there like word around town?
I don't know if the first time I met you, I knew that.
Okay, gotcha. I'm always curious. I'm like, did this person know?
I think I knew it, but I didn't know the like extent of it.
Gotcha.
And also at that time, it was so long ago, you only had like 100,000 subscribers or something.
Yeah. Yep.
It was like before you got the plaque, I think.
Yeah. Was it? Wait, it probably was. Yeah. Because I didn't get the plaque for a while. For anyone, for some behind the scenes, you hit the number, and then you have to like ask for the plaque, and
you have to pay for the plaque.
I don't think you have to pay. You might have to pay for. I forget how much. If you do, it's not like that expensive. It's like maybe like $20 to $30, but I'm pretty sure you don't. That'd be fucked up if you had to pay for the plaque,
right? Because you're already making YouTube a bunch of money.
Yeah, the plaque's still there. There was a period of time where I thought I lost it, and it was in between a move, and I was like, "Fuck, that's like the most important thing."
You're like, "Damn, I'm gonna have to get to 1 million now."
I know.
Like when you get to 1 million, are you going to take down the silver one and put up the gold one?
No. I would keep up both. Yeah, because that one is like, it is quite a jump from that one to 1 million. It is not easy. Like
that's the hardest jump.
Right.
Well, I mean, the hardest jump is from 0 to 100,000.
Yeah, that is pretty difficult.
That one's the hardest one.
Well,
the second hardest one.
That took me 2 years, and it's been over 2 years since I hit 100,000. So, I guess.
So I'm wrong. You have empirical evidence that I am wrong, and I'm willing to admit that.
All right, let's do the wrap up. Starting with next week's movie.
I hit the clip created from Marker because I wanted to see if that would timestamp it for when I do timestamps. But I realized I'd never tried that before.
I just noticed that was a button.
Yeah, I don't know what it does. It might just create a separate clip out of it.
Yeah,
I guess we'll find out.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know why I decided now, out of all the times we've used this website, was the time to try it. I'm like, wrap up. I'm like, click.
Yeah. There is a movie that is now out that we have both already seen, but we could do an episode just on it, which was kind of our plan with Tiff, so that we would have these movies ready. And it's Weird. Weird is out now
on the Roku channel.
And if you're down, we could talk about it.
I'm down.
Let's do it. Let's do it. We're talking Weird, which I'm trying to, like, any chance I get, tell, because it's kind of quiet release, but I'm like, it is a great movie that I wish was doing better.
Yeah, although I don't understand what success for that movie is even, because it's on the Roku channel.
I know. I'm like, that's why it's not doing. I'm like, how are we even going to be able to watch it? Like,
yeah.
I keep telling people in my life about the story of how there was a massive riot outside of the screening we were at, and it's the funniest. It is like still one of the craziest. We were just sitting in there, and I'm like, I can't believe we made it, and like some New York Times critic is not making it.
And it's because someone, I guess, messed up and made a fake line.
Yeah, which is crazy. Fake line for a fake biopic.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk about Weird next week, available on the Roku channel. And next, we like to read a review because love hearing what you guys have to say about this podcast. Helps
I personally hate
better.
it, but Karsten
Jeff
loves
hates it. Yeah. We know
Karsten
this.
loves it.
And this one comes from Gandhi Mami from USA. Subject line is new review, 5 stars. And we're a little late to this one. I should have read this one earlier. But Gandhi Mommy says, if you read my review on the pod, I'll dress up as one or both of you for Halloween. So,
now I guess we have to figure out if that offer is valid for next.
It's still on
Halloween.
the table. You could still do it, but not for Halloween. Just dress up as us.
You could just dress up as us.
I want to see your take on me and
Karsten?
Jeff. Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm very curious about what I look like, but
yeah.
Anyway, thank you, Gandhi Mommy, for the 5 stars. This next part is thanking the patrons over at patreon.com/Carscast.
Yep. I am using my money from patrons and putting it into dividend stocks.
Yeah, I was going to make that joke earlier, and I was like, let's wait for the patron section.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best place to go to support us is the Patreon. Mostly because you get cool exclusive content as a perk. There's a little reward for helping us out.
Yeah, and we get exclusive money.
Yes, that we can do whatever we want with.
Dividend stocks.
Yeah.
Karsten can buy some hair gel to keep his hair looking fresh and cool.
Yep. Kevin Murphy.
Do you use hair gel?
Yes. Well,
because I remember you talked about a product that you liked.
Yep. It's Kevin Murphy's leave-in conditioner. It's leave-in, but it also works as a gel, and that's what I've been using.
Right. And then as leave-in, that's one of the patrons.
Yep. So yeah.
But I'm glad it's working out for you though. Every time I've seen you and you said you used it. Did you use it today?
I did use it right before we came on.
See? It works. It keeps it up in a style.
The thing is, I'm honestly my hair stressed me out because you can see it. My hairline is receding, and I feel like I'm gonna go bald before I want to go bald. But yeah, it is actually. It's a good day today. The hair.
Yeah, it looks cool. Your hair is styled where you could have been a character in a film, and I would have been like, that's a cool character. I'm supposed to think that guy's cool.
That's a cool guy, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to be a cool guy, consider being a patron. Patreon.com/Carscast. Exclusive bonus episodes, Q&As, shout-outs at the end of every episode, which we're going to do right now.
One.
And Zoom Hangouts every month, which are super fun. We're going to start doing some more stuff on there, we got GeoGuessr going on right now, but I'm maybe one day we'll do wiki races.
Yeah.
Something else. We'll figure it out. It's hard to find a game that everyone can participate in, and GeoGuessr is just the best version. Yeah,
it's so fun.
I've been playing I really
love GeoGuessr.
Have you?
And you've gotten really good.
I have. It's become a daily thing that I play. I play it a lot, and I don't know what clicked, but sometimes you go through these phases.
Last time.
I did, yeah. And Jeff, there's a weekly
I
tournament.
wrecked you the time before that, and you just completely flipped it.
Yeah,
and I just got destroyed. I felt like in Black Panther, when she punched the thing.
Oh, the suit, and it's
yeah. You know what?
Yeah,
I realized when I said that, I was like, "Damn, that's kind of a spoiler."
That's not it. Someone that skipped the movie to avoid spoilers and was like, "Oh no, not during the GeoGuessr segment." Yeah, that's what happened though in our game. Anyway, thank you.
Anyways, sorry. Then I interrupted you though. You were saying something about the weekly tournament.
There's a tournament you should join next week, Jeff. That it actually in a day. It's in 1 day and 19 hours apparently. If you're interested,
are you gonna play it?
I am gonna play it. These tournaments aren't as crazy as I thought, but they are tournaments, and I'm sure you get a lot of XP points by doing them, and they're kind of fun.
It's the new black market currency, GeoGuessr XP.
Yeah. Thank you, Alex, Thomas, Anson Contreras, Big Beard Pirate, Boinks, Camilla, Coop, David Borslow, David Sir, Eden, Finn Richardson, Goodnight Tail, Jacob Meyer, Jared Armstrong, John Van Hout, Joshua Hughes, Katie T. Leonard. Let's change the Google search results. PTA, Leavin, I'm a hair product now. Louis A.O., Lukewarm, Maddie Robertson, Martin Deff, Marilee Borslow, Michael Rennie, Monroe Page, Noah Wooten, Pasta, Queen of Staten Island, Rakakuni, Riley Ost, Ryan M, Sam Farr, Sean Kenny needs a beverage check, Stella Perry, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Smitty Worman, Jagerman Jensen, Taylor's Version, the Raccoon from Airborne 7th Inning Fetch, Wes Kinley, Wiley Todd, Yusef A, and Zoe Hernandez McDonald. Thank you
it is.
To our lovely patrons for another great episode
of the Carscast movie cast,
yes.
starring Karsten and Jeff.
Yes. And a special random thank you. Maybe we do like random thank yous to the $15 page, like shout them out.
Yeah.
And a special thank you to Sam Farr, our randomly selected $15 patron for this episode.
Thank you.
See that? If you're a $15 patron, you might get randomly selected.
In a good way.
In a good way. I realized as I said that, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
You made it sound like a TSA search.
Yeah. Did I tell you I got randomly selected in one of my flights recently?
No.
It really sucked. I was just like, why?
You get the full pat down?
I got the full pat down in Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, they do like the back of their hand and they're like...
Yep. It was like, me? Yeah.
You're like, don't you know who I am?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Anyway, I think that does it for the episode.
I think so. Now, I'll catch you on the flip side, Carson Ronquist.
I'll catch you on the flip side, Jeff.
And then I'll edit in the song.
Yep.
You want to listen to it and react to it, and then it'll be playing behind us?
Yeah. Let's close it out with a musical number. This one is the Triceratops weighed up to 26,000 pounds.
And it's by, I honestly don't know how to say their first name, but it's like Atrayu Como.
Como, yeah. And I'm going to play it right now. I'm looking at the length of... This is one of the longest songs on the album.
I'm a Triceratops. All I do is eat a lot and sleep all through the day. My life is so stress-free. Sleeping under a tree, no cares as you can.
Sounds really good.
Why don't you
He's really
well made.
Yeah. He plays some instruments a lot better than I can.
So do you have vocals on this, or is it just...
Yeah. I didn't do any of the instrumentation. I only did vocals, and they start at about 50 seconds.
There you are. Yep.
You're not here yet, but we have plenty of time to lie around and do the things that a Triceratops does, like drinking out of lake and sleeping under various trees and ferns and discussing which trees are the best to lay under and also admiring each other's 3 horns because they look cool. Another summer ends.
Oh my god, you guys are together now.
Marks on my wall are counting up so tall.
Sounds so good, honestly. I'm like surprised.
Has not blown you. Nah, he's talented.
Yeah.
At least I'm not a fossil yet. He's like guitar solo.
I may be soon.
So thanks for tuning in. I'm trying to do like an outro as an outro at this
It's like
point.
a radio. Yeah. This is
Cheers to Karsten Rundquist.
Carscast Movie Cast. Monday, November 14th.
Flip side.
Flip side.